Let's see, and I can read the names again. So we already have Ambuj, we have Nancy, we have Tina. We still need Polly, Maximilian, and Laura. Oh, uh-oh.
Hi, Max.
Hello.
It's good to see your beautiful face.
Oh, thank you.
Who's the, oh, and Nancy, that's, are we missing anybody up front? Is it, oh, and Laura and Nancy, let's see here, add spotlight. All right, and so, Laura, I'm looking for, why can't I add you to this? Let me try one more time, add spotlight. Oh, I think someone's trying to help as well, and we're doing it at the same time. There we are. All right, perfect. So here are the questions, you guys. Here are the questions to close us off for this last day in action, and really a different way to do action. So the two questions that I have for you, and you'll each have 5 minutes. Please introduce yourself and your business, and then dive right in. In your experience, how do you continue to choose to step into success differently? And how do you keep yourself from falling back into your limiting beliefs and old habits? So let's see, who do we have first? Ambuj, would you like to go first?
Sure, Masha. A very good morning to all of you, and it's an evening in India. So thank you so much for the wonderful questions. I think in the entrepreneur's journey, these questions really matter a lot, and they're a constant reminder to keep surging forward despite all limiting beliefs. So I'm Ambuj Saxena from India. I'm founder of Social Buzz and a book author. My company is into digital marketing, and that's how we met, Masha and I met. And so yes, coming back to your first question, Masha, how do you continue to choose to step into success differently? I think the biggest keyword in this question is success. How to find success? What parameters does success depend on? So I think with age, with experience, with the values that we are brought up with, and with the people we are surrounded with, we have our own goals. We have our own parameters for success. So 10 years back, probably when I was not in my running my own firm, I would have been happy with associating myself as an employee with the best brand in advertising. I would be happy to do jobs that I would not do today. But today, the parameters of success have differed for me over time, with experience, with age, with people surrounding me, with the ideas around me. There are new parameters of success, and today I base my success on skills. Personality development, being honest with time and money. Yeah. Second, yeah. Can I continue?
Yep. Oh, you're back. Perfect. We just lost you just for a second there. This is what happens when you're all the way across the world.
Sure.
Maybe if he turns his camera off.
And the second,
Ambuj, try to turn your camera off. I think we're losing it a little bit. Ambuj, let's come back to you. Let's just wait for your internet to catch up, because I think there were yeah, try turning off your camera if see that works, but otherwise we can also come back to you really quick. All right, Ambuj, we're going to come right back to you, just because it's some technical difficulties. Sorry about that. It happens, but Polly, would you like to share a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you, Masha. Ambuj has such a beautiful smile. Can't wait to come back to you. So my name is Polly Fleming. I am the owner of The Art of You. And The Art of You is a crazy, wacky idea that is weird. And basically it's when two people sit down, me and another person, and I listen to you. And out of that experience, I create art that's custom to you. and your spirit. So that's what I do. And I wasn't able to be on the seminar yesterday, but I was able to do after work. I was able to join in the afternoon. And so this is such wonderful stuff. It's just so good. So I just wanted to say that. So how do I choose to step into success differently? So one of the things I love so much about this group is the authenticity and the fact that we don't have to put on our masks and put on our business masks and be different than who we really are, because that is painful to me. So to integrate who I am into everything is really, really important to me. I don't see any other way to do it. And I felt pretty alone in that for a lot of my life, because it seems like that's sort of what people do. And that's just not good. So how do I choose to step into success differently? Really by owning it. By being my own nucleus. That is what Pat talked about, what Laura talked about yesterday. Being my own expert. And what Pat said, what really hit me between the eyes, I cannot honor my boundaries and take care of other people's feelings at the same time. It is okay to give myself permission to do what is best for me. It doesn't take away anything from anybody else. And so how do I keep myself from falling back into limiting beliefs? I think that it's really important to probably will. We probably will fall back into those limiting beliefs. And so I have two things. Number one, okay, what are the tools that I use when I do? Because I will. And one of my limiting beliefs is self-pity, and it's a really big one. And it creeps up and it creeps in, and then it just sucks me down. And I know Tina was talking about it. I know several of you have talked about it. Like, yeah, let's talk about it. That takes the power away, first of all. But there is a moment when you have to rise above it to be a leader, and to know that we're not alone in it, and then not judge yourself for it. So, okay, so fine, I'm having a self-pity moment. It takes some strength and surrender to go over that or through it to get to the other side. It just does. And some days we have it more than others. That's just what it is. So I think that one thing that I've found that consistently works for me is to get to that point. And if I do this every day, my life is just brilliant and flowing, right? But it's that moment in the morning when I give this day over to something bigger than myself. And then I feel that like, no, but I don't want to. I want to do it all myself. I don't want to. I don't want to give it over. But then to actually give it over, or give over the thing. I need help with this thing. I need help to grow my business. I need help, whatever, fill in the blank, right? My computer's not working, right? Or whatever. I need help. And then I feel that resistance, and then I like let it go. It's amazing how it works. It works. Whether that's somebody showing up and saying, I can help you with that, or just like the computer all of a sudden, like it does the thing I needed it to do. So that's how I'll do things differently. I think that there's just, and also with all of you, I'm not alone. So that's how I'll do things differently together.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much, Polly. Thank you so much for expressing your heart and thank you for everything you just said. Ambuj, it looks like you are back with us. We do have to go quick here, you guys, because I know we're running a little behind time, but we got this. So Ambuj, I'll have you repeat what it is that you're saying so we can hear you now.
Sure, Masha, I'll make it very short. So the answer to the first question was, that with time, the parameters of success do change, and that's with experience, with the people you are hanging out with, and with the ideas you are generating with people. The parameters of success differ a lot. And my family has always taught me one thing: best in life is second best, which means that you would aim for the best. And even if you don't get there, you should be content with what you get, which is the second best. So that is one quote that I swear by, and that keeps me going again and again. Now, coming back to your second question, my internet was playing foul at that time. There are always limiting beliefs. For example, running my own agency means that I have to get more clients. I have to serve those clients very well. And at the same time, I have to take care of my team as well. Somebody might want to go for higher studies, would want an off, or anything of that sort. Hiring and firing goes on and on. So in all of these things that hold you back, which do not let you reach your highest potential, there are a lot of limiting beliefs. But how I step out of it? Well, my family is my biggest support structure. Many of them are over here on this call right now. And apart from that, I know that the values that I've been brought up with, and the willingness to work, and my honesty and my hard work, if I don't succeed, who will succeed? So that is how I step out of my limiting beliefs and back into the zone of success. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Ambuj. That's amazing. And I put it in the chat, the values. Yes, very important. Thank you. Nancy Kelso, introduce yourself and share with us your answers.
Well, good morning, everybody. Nancy Kelso with Kelso Coaching and Consulting. And so I love what I do. I get to work with overwhelmed and uncertain parents and help them make decisions that are aligned with their values so that they can feel both successful and fulfilled. And this came to me, of course, like all of us did on this call. We're so passionate about what we do because part of us has been there, right? And I was in that corporate world where I didn't feel that. I was not always making decisions in alignment with my own values. And I had other people who believed in me more than I believed in myself. And so I'm going to start with a little story that I think will get a chuckle out of Laura Holloman. And that is, I am a powerless, balanced conductor. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you, when I saw that, I was ticked off. Remember, Laura? I'm like, what the heck, powerless? What is she talking about? I am not powerless, right? Okay, that was my reaction. And what I realized, of course, brilliance of the endotype, is that that's actually my trigger word. And yeah, of course it's my trigger word because I am number 7 of 8 growing up on a dairy farm where we fought for the last carrot on the table, or we had to stick to our routine of getting out to the barn and doing chores. I didn't get to choose all the extracurriculars I wanted to do, right? We had a routine and a rhythm, and we were all needed here. Great, strong work ethic values. But a lot of times I felt very powerless. Like when I got into school and they said, oh, you're Linda's little sister who was a straight A 4.0 student. Okay, so there's the powerless piece, all right? But what I learned from Laura is that I'm energized by taking action. So this balanced conductor piece, I get my energy when I'm acting, when I actually get in and do stuff, right? And that gets my momentum going. And when I do that from my gut, that is when I'm at my best, okay? So the thing is about balanced conductor, I also like routine and I like some consistency. And so for me, this whole idea of stepping in to success, right, is I had to come back to, well, what is success to me? just like we were talking, Maggie, I think, said the nucleus of myself. So yesterday, and the day one discovery, yesterday vision, done by design folks, because those are important, right? And now we're in action. And so for me, because I like consistency, my action is how I step in every day is I take my vision. I've got an annual plan off my vision, a 12-week plan, a monthly plan, and a daily action. And my daily action every day is I eat the frog. Okay. And if you've never heard that phrase, it basically means that you're doing the toughest thing first. Well, instead of choosing the toughest thing first, what I do is I choose the challenge I have in getting me towards my why. So I've uncovered my why. I've got that focus, which equals balance. Remember, Rachel said it this morning in our yoga. You focus and you can have balance. I was like, yes, I love that. So you focus and you have balance, okay? And so that's what I do is I go back to my why. And what's the one thing that is going to be hard for me to do today that's going to help me get to my why? So that's my daily intention. Then I do a little bit of what Polly said, which is let go. Only I use let grow. The G and the O are capitalized and the R and the W are small letters. And that is often my visual. Let grow. With the G and O capital, because when we do let go, we really can step into who we are. So then I'm going to come back to these inner critics, you guys, because I've got them too, right? I've got that whole imposter syndrome. So here's the thing. You've heard Tina say, name it to tame it. And I'm going to add another word in there, and that is claim it. So name it, claim it, so you can tame it. So naming it up. Okay, my inner critic, I call my inner critic the drip. So my inner critic shows up and there's the drip again. Dripping on me, keeps on dripping on me, telling me I'm not good enough. And then what Laura said is, that whole thing of really, what is it telling you? Well, it's telling me, pay attention to something. What is I needed to pay attention to? Not that I'm a horrible person or that I don't know what I'm doing, but why is it telling me that? I'm uncomfortable. So I got to claim that. I'm uncomfortable, right? And now what am I going to do? And then you can make a decision back to your why, how you're going to move forward. So the other thing that that's really helped me is I have been practicing positive psychology challenges and learning for over 9 years. And so I have some regular practices. So just like yoga, it's a practice. Like there's no way I can sit and stand from sitting like Lindsay did yesterday. Can't do it. But I bet if I practiced, I could, right? I just don't practice. Okay. So think of your inner critics and your mental health, as mental fitness, and you need to practice. So like physical fitness, you might start with some soup cans and then go to 2-pound weights, 5-pound weights, right? Mental fitness, same thing. So start with something that you can stick to and do and become habitual. So I started with practicing the 5 daily happiness habits that are proven to boost resilience, which I'm happy to share if we have time. Then I started the name it, claim it, tame it, right? And I got really good at that. Every time I feel that, what is that feeling? What is that feeling? Name it, claim it, tame it. And then start, saying it out loud. And then I was reminded of a 30-second grounding exercise that I can use. And last but not least, I recently integrated into my practice 10-second mental fitness weights, 10 seconds that will shift me, that will intercept my critic and shift me into my inner wisdom. So those are the things I do. I will share some more in the chat because I know we have to move on. Sorry about that.
Nancy. And as I was thinking too, is everything you're saying is so brilliant, and I'm sure people will really appreciate the tools. So if you like those tools, you can also visit Nancy. She will be one of the booths later on today. So be sure to visit her there and find out more. Thank you, Nancy. Maximilian Turner, how about you? Would you like to share a little bit about you and your story, as well as the question?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a UW-Madison graduate with a wide variety of different work experiences in business, higher education, and government administration. Currently, I work as a quality improvement consultant and work to help life coaches achieve better business results. So I work with life coaches that they have businesses, they're doing all these things, they're doing workshops, they're networking, but something's wrong with their businesses and they don't know what. So I work with them, I analyze their business processes, and I get to the root causes of what those problems are, and then I help them develop an action plan for solving whatever problems is with their businesses. So as for the first question, how do I step into success differently? I step into success by leaning into the mode of genius, by taking what I do very, very well and applying that to the people that I serve so that they can achieve good results. The way I have a very unique way of looking at the world, looking at the way people do things and seeing the problems in the way people do things, and then being able to see how the world is interconnected so that I can help them develop very specific action plans to achieving goals. So if they're like, if they have a system problem, they're like trying to reach enough people, I can see the internet connections where those people, I can see where they need to connect to, and I can do that really quickly, and I can deliver good results through that. I think for the second question, how do I keep from falling back into limiting beliefs? I think for that comes to a few points. One, I have to first recognize that those limiting beliefs are there, and that can get kind of tricky because when your problems are in your head, you might not know that they're there, so you might have to look at other things like your gut feelings or just sensing something's off. And then once I sense something is off, then the next thing is being able to turn to people in my network, talk to them, say, is there a problem? I'm feeling this thing, is this problem there? And if so, what should I do about it? So for me, like, if it's, for example, if it's like coming down to like, I don't have self-confidence or something, first off, it's like, I need to articulate that, and then turn to people in my network and say, okay, I don't have self-confidence, what should I do? Once I know in my head of what I want, and I'm able to articulate that to people, then I feel like the answers are going to come to me. So they might not come right away, but there's so many people out there. There's people, one of my sayings is that your suffering is somebody else's significance. There's whatever problems you have, there's somebody on earth who's designed to solve that problem, that not only that, like, would they be willing to help you, you don't even have to ask them to help. They just say, I would love to help you solve that problem. Say no more. I will jump right to doing that. So I feel like if I can articulate my limiting beliefs to people, at least if I can articulate those beliefs, then I can find the people who can help solve those problems, and I can really progress forward in my endeavors.
That's awesome, Max. And again, coming back to the ask, right? That's brilliant, because instead of having to feel like you're in it alone, it's putting it out there and letting people know how to help you. Awesome. Laura Holloman, let's bring you up to the stage.
All right. I am Laura Holloman. I am the creator of the Endotype formula. I actually had the task of helping Masha put together some of these panels, and I intentionally put myself on this panel because we have a lot of action takers as our experts. Like Nancy had talked about, like, she gets energized by taking that action. And I am going to be the ambassador for the opposite. Because here's the thing, there are different endotypes, and I know some of the people here, and I know some of you don't start in action, and neither do I. We start in thinking and in ideas and in, the feels of it all, right? So we have to be in that state for a long time before we get to our action steps. And sometimes then we judge ourselves because of it. So I am your, if that's what you're sensing as you're listening to some of these other awesome action takers, I will be your ambassador here today. So the question, how do you choose to step differently or step into success differently? Just that. Like, not judge myself for being how I am created, right? I know that when I get to the action steps, they are dialed in. And I know when I am just simply putting off the action steps. There's two different things, right? There's like our coping mechanism of like, ooh, another YouTube video. Ooh, let's scroll on Facebook, and avoiding action, as opposed to, I don't know the action step yet. And if that's where you're at, and instead you're watching a YouTube video, that's okay. But just sense the difference there. I also really loved a recent interview on Brene Brown's podcast that she has, Dare to Lead, with Dr. Sarah Lewis. And they were talking about the rise of the creative process and the difference between success and mastery. Awesome podcast. But it's about the mastery, right? It's about the golf aficionado, right? Who goes out and just buys that bucket of balls and hits and hits and hits and hits. And it's about the practice. It's not about celebrating that one time it worked. It's about the practice and continuing to improve and continuing to be consistent. And so that's how I step into mastery a little bit different. I think mastery skills. And in the second question, how do you keep yourself from falling back into limiting beliefs? Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. So first of all, I can see them on paper. With the endotype formulas, and I showed a couple of the formulas in the first day when I talked, I can see my own and other people's limiting beliefs on paper. And in looking at them, I can also see what they're really intentionally designed to do. So it's knowing that when I hear these things that we've called limiting beliefs for years, when I can hear them, that's not really what it is. It's something important for me to know in this moment. And I just have to understand what it is. So that's one thing, like stopping the judging of calling it a limiting belief and calling it a protection. Ooh, part of me wants me to be protected right now. What is that protection? The other piece is I have created a daily process based on the endotype formula that allows all the parts of me, the big, beautiful parts, to be able to connect. And it's kind of I don't know, it's not a meditation practice, but it's a getting in touch with all these pieces of me practice so that everybody gets to all the parts, right? The I thought of another word for you, Tina, the itty bitty witty committee, because those parts of me are stinking sarcastic and hilarious. I love them. Right? It's all of those parts. It's all of my awesome zone of genius parts get to come together and have a say. And then we get to design the day based on being in alignment. So for me, alignment is a big word in the work that I do, and I am able to continue to move forward with less of those stuck moments by staying in alignment.
Awesome. How powerful is that, you guys? We have just a little bit more time, but I would love to give the stage back to Tina. And Tina, how about you? How have you experienced these questions, and what is a little bit of your story? A little bit more.
So I had in my head kind of like, a little bit of an outline of what I wanted to say, and then everybody went, and I was like, okay, there's so much good juice here. So we've talked about mastery and intention and alignment. Those are the three words I wrote down. And so when I say doing the work, you guys have probably heard me say, like, this is hard work. Like taking yourself on, I call it taking myself on. I took myself on and did the hard work. And that like equals I am pursuing mastery in the work, right? And so So like when we talk about action and this day being about action, we're all on our own journey and we're all at different points on that journey. So for me, it was this taking myself on so that I could get clarity and figure out who I was and what I wanted and get rid of like what everybody told me and all that kind of stuff. And as I did that, I was creating the how to choose and to step into success differently, right? It was like, okay, well, maybe my definition is wrong. So let's redefine it. And then how do I align my actions with that? And then how am I doing? So some of the tools that I use every day, like very often I will sit down with a piece of paper and say what worked today and what didn't work today, right? And just really keep myself accountable for when I'm showing up the way I want to. And when when you're showing up not in your full power, like we know it. And if you don't know it, you're pretending not to know it, right? I can definitely feel when I'm in my full power versus when I'm shrinking back and letting my itty bitty shitty committee take control. And so it's just daily practice. And I had a lot of work to do. I still have work to do. We all probably have a lot of work to do. And it was overwhelming to me, like, especially when I added business. Matter is whether I'm trying to lose weight, whether I'm trying to run a business, whether I'm trying to get better relationships in life, whatever it is, I will not ever master any of that until I have mastered myself. Until I am clear and intentional and exactly what I want and who I want to be and how I'm going to show up. And with that clarity, now I can figure out what my purpose is and what I want to do with the rest of my life and how I step into this. Because when you step into what you're meant to do every single day, like, isn't that what we really all want? And so I am affirmations when I wake up right away in the morning. I am powerful. I am enough. I am worthy. I am beautiful. I can do this. Like I am, instead of thinking all the stuff, right? A gratitude practice, part of that morning ritual, a non-negotiable for me is, what am I grateful for today? I'm great. And I name off, like I name it in like hundreds of them, right? And so just really staying in that, am I in my personal power right now? Just really, really tuning into what that personal power was. And that's my word for this year, because there are still times when I show up and I know that I'm not showing up fully 100% for how I could be showing up to help. Because at the end of the day, my goal is to support people to do this same journey, because we all here know how important that journey is. And we will never skyrocket our business until we can skyrocket ourselves. And so the non-negotiables, the alignment, the intention, it's just, if you don't, again, we said it in the beginning of this morning, you don't have to know the how. You have to know the what. What is it that I want? What is it I want in my business? You got a whole team of people here now that can help you figure out the how. So I think that is what I would say. How do I keep myself from falling back? It's the what's working and what's not working. And just in the moment, I don't have like 600 things that I'm going to do, right? My only focus is today I get to be better than tomorrow, and tomorrow I get to be better than today. And if I can constantly say what's working and what's not working and keep that as a front focus, every day I get a little bit closer to where I want to be and who I want to be and where I want to go. So that is how every single day, almost in every single moment, how I choose to show up. I've done the work up front to know what it looks like. And now I just get to align myself every day to it and check in. Am I being that? Am I being that? Not am I checking off my to-do 100 million things to do. Am I being who I say I want to be? And I just constantly check in on that.
Bam, you guys, mic drop right there. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, I feel like, first of all, I know we're just about to go to our last presentation before lunch. So before we get there, I just want us to all take a really deep breath. Yeah. Let all of this sink in. Just be in this energy. Can you guys feel this vibration? Can you feel how the difference that this is making? Holy cow, this is the power, you guys. This is the power of doing this differently. So now, to move us forward, I am so excited to bring to the stage, everybody do the snaps, and let's see if we can get